This is the story of my angel and I. We've been together 30 years. I'm a girl. We don't know who he is. That's what we're trying to find out. And he communicates through the news. And what I'm going to do is tell you what happened in the past 4 months, and then you make up your mind what's going on here. The first example I'm going to give you is not necessarily chronological, but there's 5 name codes in this news story. And this cannot be by a human. That's why I say he's my angel. Because to bring together 5 people whose names fit into our story, from all walks of life, into one event, one ritual, if you like, I don't think that's feasible for humans to do. Well, I'll let you make up your mind. My angel identifies with Bill Maher, the comedian, who's coming back tonight, by the way. This week, the writer's strike is finished, interestingly enough. So he's all happy. And I'm going to show you how his name, Bill, also William, Maher, and my name, Cat Brown, are seen over and over, creating messages full of humor, but also tragedy, because mostly it's people, celebrities who disappear, died in their sleep or whatever. Oddly strange disappearances of celebrities whose names fit into our narrative. So I'm going to start with this one from August 19th, where you have 5 instances of these name codes, and that's: dealer gets 10 years in prison in death of Michael K. Williams. So Michael is code for Mike, like a microphone, and L means her in French. There's a lot of French here. Not only am I originally French, but the Jesuit order, who everyone suspects is behind this, that Skull and Bones, the Illuminati, the Jesuit order was originally started out in France. So there's a lot of French and English. So we have Mike, L. L is her in French. K is okay. And Williams, you put an apostrophe and you get William, like Bill, belongs to Williams. He's very possessive. He's very possessive. That's actually, it goes with the territory, I guess, to be an angel. Michael K. Williams. Williams overdosed in his Brooklyn penthouse, September 2021. And this story shows up again recently. He lived, he bought heroin from Cartagena. Cartagena is the dealer. On a sidewalk in Brooklyn's Williamsburg neighborhood. Williams famously portrayed Omar Little, that's my angel, the rogue robber of drug dealers in HBO's The Wire, which ran from 2002 to 2008. All right. Then the U.S. attorney is Damian Williams, also my angel, who noted, etc., sale of drugs. And the last one that just ties it all in and had me in chills is Maher, Sean Maher. Can you believe it? Can we let that sink in, please? Omar, Sean Maher, Williams, Williamsburg. So what I'm showing you here is a salient, striking example of what's going on every single day. And what we're going to get into now is a lot more of these. And if you go into my work, my blogs and my videos, this is non-stop. This is literally non-stop. Every single day there's a message. So let's keep and check out some more messages. When I posted my last video, I was expecting a reaction from my angel, who adores me, by the way. It's incredible. We adore each other. I'm possessed. He's inside of me. We communicate telepathically. He loves me tremendously. What can I say? Last video that I posted, I spoke that we're so close, it's like we're in the same sock. And the very same day, a huge fire, which is Angel's specialty, in this building in Sydney, Australia, with this graffiti written on the side, Bugsy Sock B. So he agrees that we're like cuddling cozy in the same sock. Because being with him is just like mantras that bring joy. He brings me joy. So we're very close. And this Bugsy Sock Bee, it's actually a work of art. Fire for Angel has been transformed into an art form. And you're going to see. So around my angel's messages, everybody drops dead, unfortunately. But that's the nature of the news also. You wouldn't be hearing about it in the news if there wasn't so much death involved. So I don't know to what degree Angel is maliciously killing people, and that's what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out how Angel thinks, because all of these rituals involve suffering and death. Like this huge fire, and so many others. And is my angel a demon, a god of this world, that he can get away with stuff like that? I would say yes, he gets away with it, but to what degree does he know better that what he's doing isn't wrong? That's what I'm trying to figure out about Angel. What does he know that we don't know that makes it okay for him to kill and destroy just to say hello to me? That's what we're trying to figure out. After the last video that I posted, I wrote that I was expecting a few more sacrifices, attesting to his enjoyment of the video. First thing I saw, besides Bugsy's Sock B, is Banco Brown. Banco Brown, that was another crazy killing in the news. And it's just becoming more absurd in a way, more grotesque in a way, more intense, more emotional, more reality TV. And it really is starting to remind me of the Joker. And it reminds me of Harley Quinn. If you break down the name Harley Quinn, you have Har, like har, Lee, which means read in French, and Queen, Harley Quinn. It's actually a name code, her name. Let's go back and take a look at how Angel reacted to my last video. We have Banco Brown. Banco is a term they use at the casino, which means you won. Or you're betting all of your money. You're getting excited. So Angel got excited about the last video. And her relative is named Calvin Breedlove. Interestingly, just yesterday, Breedlove, a rapper, disappeared in his sleep. He had rapped with Eminem, and this one, what can I say? They're getting more and more dramatic. All these sacrifices are getting obvious to those who see what's going on, and more fantasy-like, I find. So we have Breedlove again. Yesterday we lost a Breedlove. And then there was the guy who was the speed master, Breedlove, also in April. So the third celebrity or newsworthy person named Breedlove, which is just a beautiful name. And guess what? That's Angel talking. And then we have Reverend Brown, then continued with the service. Oh, there's my name. You're going to be hearing me say that. So right after the video, there was Neil Brown. Same day actually that I put it out. Neil, like kneeling. He loves me that much, yes. I can't explain it. I can't explain this level of adoration. It's amazing. Tell you, I'm enjoying every second of Angel. Okay, then we have Oh Death, He Jones, like a craving at Jones. Brown, my name. Oh Maury, Oh Death, He. Yeah, it'd be nice to figure out what's going on. And we had Shake L. Brown. Then we had the Captain Kid, which fits into the 322 Skull and Bones. Yale's 322nd anniversary is coming up in a few days. That's October 9th, and that's part of the madness. We just lost another rapper, or actually I shouldn't say that. Another rapper got very sick. His name is Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs, like 322 Skull and Bone Society. Bone Thugs and Harmony. So here we have this little thing I ran across. On today's date, 322 years ago, during the golden age of piracy, on Friday, May 23rd, 1701, famous 17th century Scottish pirate Captain William Kidd met his earthly demise at the age of 47. Now 47 is a significant number. Having to do with government and authority. When he was hanged for the crime of piracy at Execution Dock near the shoreline of the River Thames in the district of Wapping in East London, England. Requiescat in pace, Captain Kidd. I put that away. I thought that was interesting. Captain William Kidd. And then Coach Roy Kidd passed away in September. And then Rick and Morty starred just in Roy Lands. You see how he communicates, how he talks. It's poetic. And he does these chains of names in the news to describe basically that he's the king. And the way I see his communication, with constant, non-stop, total control of the media, I would have to agree. That's him. How Bill Maher fits into this, we still don't know, but there's something going on. There's something intensely connected with Bill without being directly connected with Bill. And I believe that these are psychic, spiritual, sexual, completely everything that he doesn't want to talk about type of things. The psychic connection. I have been communicating with Bill since 2009 when Hurricane Omar grazed the island where I live, St. Martin in the Caribbean. And the codes went nuts since then. I have all the blogs. It's all written down. Recently, since a couple years, I have been communicating directly with Bill in the Instagram direct messages. And it got to the point where I was just talking to him the way you just talk to somebody, and about the angel, of course, who's between us. And I was just trying to, explain that he needs help because all he does is set off explosions. And it's funny because at the same time he did this interview with Dr. Phil and they were discussing their shrinks. And it really, there was a lot of sexuality through pictures and that sort of thing, and trying to show off to him since 2009, so this has been going way back. In the first 10 years, it was mostly show off, but it was deep also. It's been very deep. But then it got to the point after X number of years that it's like, man, what's going on with this angel? I think he needs help. I was sending him stuff like that, the ICU nurse. And I guess Angel responded. He was saying, balls are sore. He's been saying this all along, actually. The messages usually come down to some sexual complaint on his part. O, D means tell in French. Chat means cat in French. My name is Cat. Oh, I said. Oh, dit chat. What can I say? I am not going to run to Los Angeles to say hello to Bill Maher. I'm married, happily, and I'm looking at this like, wow, this is a scientific breakthrough because I'm actually living a strange, very strange story that I have to pursue. I have to pursue this strangeness. I want to know what's going on. I'm not going to run over there. Plus, I wouldn't do that. If anything, Angel, he will come to us, I believe. Just the intensity of the messages has increased a lot. So I'm hoping that there's a happy ending. Okay, Chat Li Mar. Chat, cat. Li means read in French. Mar is you know what. You know who. How Ra. And Angel is a representation of the god of the sun, Ra. For sure, for sure. Okay, there was even another one. There's another multiple code event. Heavy duty event. Home Minister Amit Shah. Amit Shah. I am cat. Deeply agonizing. You see that? That's what I don't understand. Where is all this agony coming from? Okay, Balasor, I get that. But it seems to me that's an angel with the power to communicate like that could also do many wondrous things. But I'm not going to go too deeply into that. We'll wait and see what happens. Just as as I was researching this story, I see 5 US citizens land in Cat R. I am Sha. I am Cat. Interesting. Then at the same time as the Balasore tragedy, we have the Cameron Robbins, who disappeared in shark-infested water. And of course, Angel is the shark. Camera on is the camera. Camera on. Robbins is robbing. So I've been sending a lot of pictures because Angel inspires me. And I guess I was sending less pictures. He's still complaining in this thing. First he complains his balls are sore. Now he's complaining that he's not getting as many pictures because he isn't even getting as many pictures. He's not in a good mood. William, his father, Cameron's father, is named William, and Sherry Robbins. So you can kind of see Sherry robbing. So I don't know what to tell you about that, but this has been going on since 2009, and there is a point in your life where you slow down with the pictures. It just sort of makes sense. And this one really took us to new lows. It took me like weeks to be able to even write about it on Free to Find Truth. Bruno D'Amore. Bruno, of course, is brown. D'Amore is love, and they were brutally killed, these old people. The person who killed them is manic depressive. And I guess he is the prime candidate to be MK Ultra patsy, if you like, because he tried to be a good person his whole life, and then he even said that he thinks that the government was he tried to be a good person his whole life, and then he goes into these violent episodes, and he even blamed the government. A lot of them do, actually. And this should be taken more seriously because that's what's going on. They are being controlled, in many cases, to act out these messages for Angel. Now, I sent my work to a couple police departments way back, but I sent it to Obama, I sent it to certain people, of course, Bill. They should know that a lot of these killers are actually marionettes for Angel. He just makes them do things through MK Ultra, or I would say because I'm possessed, I know that I went through a kind of organic, there was no torture involved, no disassociation. He just came into me. I could feel his spirit trickling into me. Like, it had something to do with electrical magnetic fields, which I later on became highly sensitive to, by the way. So I know that MK Ultra can happen organically as well. I've established it from personal experience. There doesn't need to be that whole process that they have put together. That's the rudimentary way. So we got these people going around murdering, and Bruno D'Amore. So I just told Angel, why are you acting so crazy? It's hard to understand. And then, well, what happens is that Angel adores me so much that he sends these messages asking me how I'm doing. And one of the last things that happened to me was that the Homeowners Association came after me because I have 12 dogs. And well, of course, it's my business and I'm on my land. There's nothing they can do. And when they saw that they couldn't do anything, they came after me with a bunch of lies saying that I owe back dues. Really viciously, they came after me because I'm not like that. I pay my bills. So my neighbors, they rallied around me, circled the bandwagons around me to defend me. And when they did that, and that's the email that one of the neighbors wrote in my defense, Treat Williams died. And Bob means nodding yes. Okay, that's one of the important code words to remember. Bob means nod yes. Bob Brown. Then it was the Titanic submersible story. These stories seem unreal somehow, don't they? And how they attacked the guy who was running the submersible. He did everything wrong. But there is a code name, and that's Chris Brown. And there's another one, is Rob Hurt Ball Hard. My angel. Then there was the Coco Lee. Coco Lee, it was a code to describe what happened at the White House. So you could just imagine the reptilians under the earth looking at what's going on, looking at Hunter Biden, seeing that he forgot cocaine at the White House, and they communicate by killing Coco Lee, because Lee means read in French. They're actually saying, what's going on up there? But you see, this thing with politics, as an aside, it's a caricature, because Biden, with his war in Ukraine and giving hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine, and Ukraine using Marina Abramovich to supervise rebuilding of schools. She, of course, is the Pizzagate witch. Trump buying a gun at the gun shop. It's a caricature. They're all on the same side, and we know that. They're all Freemasons. They're all part of the Illuminati. So there is no two-party system. There's a one-party system, and that's the Angel Party. July 21st, we have Harley Quinn back in the picture, and she's saying she only wants to be called Lee, which is a word. It's funny, it's like we have certain words that keep reappearing. And so for any given video, there's going to be a key word. And I have to say that Lee is it this time around, meaning read in French. Now, this also sex, you're going to see a lot of that by Zach Meow. What we're trying to figure out is who is Angel and why is he communicating with us? What we already know is why he's here with me. This was an interesting synchronicity, a ritual involving Rambo. I said he's the modern day Joseph Campbell, and about a week afterwards, Joe Campbell died. And then Tafari Campbell died not long later. And Tafari, that's angel saying ta, far, he. He's just reaching out. He reaches out. Then we have Hu Herman and Pewee Herman. And Hu Herman's lawyer is Michael Brown. And by the way, there's all these little synchronicities that I leave out because I can't make these videos too long. So it's dotted with other name code synchronicities that I don't mention, but I'm just giving the main ones. I think that's sufficient. So then we had G. Herbo, he's my man, he's my beau, and Bo Hers. How about that? The time differences between these events is very important. So you have one July 28th, one July 31st, right after the next. Then we had the calamity. Angel told me that there's going to be some end of day type horrors, which is what we have been seeing. Terrible disasters, a lot of people dying. And this is happening parallel to the narrative between Bill Maher and myself, or his representation online, if you like, or you figure it out, because I don't know. What happened was that I was no longer able to send him direct messages. After, of course, he's not going to accept my invite. I already told him that that would deflate the whole metaphysical souffle if we had like a direct communication. So we only communicate in code. So he's not going to accept my invite. So I was wondering, what happened? Why did he do that? But it turns out he did not do that. What happened was that he's getting sued, his show is getting sued by a photographer who says that she was sexually harassed by one of his staff, not even him. At the same time, that's when I guess they went over all his social media and cut off the direct messages. And that really didn't go over well with Angel. I don't know whose bright idea that was to cut off the direct messages. I'm sure it was Angel's ultimately, because he wants me to communicate with him in public. But it was hard. It was hard on me, and it was hard. The first thing I did was act a little crazy, which is what I do when I'm very sad. And I sent out on Redefining Truth, how about some sexual harassment? Cat, ouch, ah, muse found in French River. Angel said to me, Mark, take note that, Mar, Bill, go, Lee means read in French. So he will go read me at the Redefining Truth website. He's just telling me that he's going to look for me there, because I used to take everything I wrote there, copy paste it onto the Instagram direct message, and I guess I don't have to do that, but I liked the personal touch to be able to communicate privately with him. But anyhow, he knows what he's doing. What was very interesting is that Bill, who is ever present, he's there in his new rules, he's there sometimes in the monologues, he's there in the guest names for his show Real Time. He talks to me, to us, to Angel and I. And I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples in my blogs and videos. And even after our direct communication was cut off, our DMs were cut off, he still mentioned Helen Gurley Brown. Now if you take a look at my work and you see that he's been doing that over and over and over again, for him to do that after the direct messages got cut off, he's telling me that it wasn't his decision to cut off the direct messages. That's how I interpreted that. And you're going to see afterwards, there's plenty of confirmations. William Lowe, he's expressing how he feels. And this dismemberment business, we see that a lot in Angel's messages. And there's my friend Silverlinks TX. I had to tell her that, I told her the Insta DM thing is fried. Angel seems quite savage. And I don't believe that this is my higher self mirroring in the news, because some people think that their higher self communicates through synchronicities. But I don't see myself in all of this violence. I really don't. I'm quite the opposite, actually. What we have in common is this beautiful relationship, and just being together is incredible. It's for 30 years now we've been together. But the mode of messaging is just horrible. What can I say? Ugly God, there you go. August 5th. He knows. Sherwin Williams. I guess we're gonna win. Banco. If we're gonna win, I thought I would bring that up right now. What does winning mean to me? Well, what winning means to me is that Angel, he comes out more and more. He makes himself more and more seen and understood. And he loves me so much that he starts to reduce suffering. The suffering of animals, the suffering of, the needless suffering. Even all of this, these geoengineered weather disasters, and we're going to reduce suffering, and we're going to reduce aggression. That's what winning means to me. Let's imagine what would happen if Angel made a big reveal and brought me along. I would swiftly get rid of violence, just because that's what I want. And that would be good enough under the circumstances of Angel having appeared. And there would be no more wars, but you could watch action movies still. So I know that sounds like a major cock block for some, and I hope it doesn't sound too aggressive on my part. But I think that with care and attention, even animals can learn to love each other. How about that? Of course, this whole business about eating meat, I say if you give the animals a good life, and if you don't spare making sure they're comfortable, and if you do something called control atmosphere killing, which they have no idea that they're going to die, and it's not a terror, and it's not a horror, and they don't really understand the concept anyhow, it can happen like that painlessly, go ahead, you can have meat. So yes, there's many ways. It's just that angel has to make it happen. And if it's what I think, I don't have to be the face of none of this. I could stay here with my friends in my little circle talking about what Angel is doing, and he can make those things happen when he's ready. I don't mean to sound like I'm begging, but bala sore. This has to do with the Insta DMs that were fried. And it has to do with the only consequential date of the occult studies, which is consistently turning out to be a prophetic date, and that's August 8th, which is the Lionsgate portal. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this again. I think it's important because you have several dates, like for example September 23rd that we just had. Nothing happened really. And there's going to be other dates where you're expecting something to happen. I think something's going to happen for 322, the Yale anniversary, Skull and Bones. But this August 8th, Lionsgate portal, you could count on something terrible happening. And it naturally coincided with the story with the Instagram DM messages that were cut off. On August 7th, we had William fried Kin. Kin, of course, is family. William is Bill. He's about to fry his fellow human beings in a place called Lahaina, Hawaii. That happened on that day, where supposedly we are closer than ever to the Sirius constellation where these angels come from, if you like, and you could feel the heat. The word Laena is very important because in French, "en" means hate. And of course, both Angel and I were disappointed that there's no more Instagram DMs. Dr. Masters from the Yale Climate Connection brought up Typhoon Hado, because hurricane and typhoon names are very significant, on September 1st. I noted that. Hi, Dr. Masters. Yeah, it was a direct energy weapon. A lot of people know it. A lot of people have figured out that the earth is under attack in these places, but they don't understand why they would attack Hawaii, full of malls, beaches, restaurants, part of the US. Well, I'm proposing that it's because it's N, hate, la N-A. So this lady, she's a writer for the New York Post. Her name is Catherine, like my name, and don in French means give, and levy means tax. I think so far you've seen that there's a lot of sacrifice in my name, and this lady's name, she pretty much exclaims it. Now, what does that mean? What is this angel doing? That's the rough part about this whole thing. That it has to be so full of suffering, which is the one thing that I would like to get rid of. We have 322 comments for this article, and this person named Burke's Cat Bill. I mean, is there really a way to stop all this suffering from Angel? Is there? It's not just sexual repression. It has to be something else. We have to be moving towards something, some kind of dramatic climax or whatever. Carbonaro. Look at the name of this author. Herman and Daya. We have Herman again. And Da means yes, Ya. Yeah, yes, yes. This blue business, that's just part of this buffoonery, I think. I think it's another joke from the Joker that blue things didn't burn. I don't see really a technological explanation about blue laser beams or anything like that, because rapper Blueface was in the news at the same time for either being stabbed or having a baby. So there was all kind, and then people were wearing blue as well. To me, these are signs that what we're dealing with is metaphysical. Burn he Mars den. And the name of the people who died in the wildfire, and he burnt, Jude he savage, Angel is Jewish. What am I going to say? There's nothing I could say. He's wicked and he's Jewish. I am not going to get into deeply about this anti-Semitism because I was born Jewish, but all I can tell you is that you can't generalize about Jewish people. You could say corporatist Jews, global elite Jews that are causing all these problems. You could say angel Jews, but the average Jewish person, just like the average Catholic person or any other person, is not responsible for all this. At the same time as the fighters, Hardwick, King of the Hill. That sounds like angel to me. And then we had the sacrifice for the Lion's Gate. That would be the lion who was reading Psalm 23 for 2023, the year of skull and bones. There's a tie-in with Bill Maher. Even though his show was off, he still managed to speak up. He had, we have a code concerning char lot, to char a lot. And he somehow managed to tweet about Charlotte, of all cities, interestingly enough. Dear. That's angel code. El mine a cat alan. You get the drift. Okay, man killed in Charlotte by Amtrak train heading from Charlotte to New York. Police say William Best, that's the guy who got killed, William Best, so King of the Hill. I was quite fascinated by the UFO hearings, and there was a fire called the Gray Fire. So all this charring is going on in the news in Hawaii, etc. And at the same time, you see a gray fire. You got to make those connections. You have to. And 254 is my lucky number. Oh, and then this chronologically came in right there. Mike L. K. Williams. That's when Angel is asking me to speak up. Mike L. Then we had more. He wants more. So we had more Bay Area and Mooresville, all within 2 days. Can you imagine? And more fire. On the same day, a fire in Williamsburg and a fire in Brownsville. I'm Cat Brown. Horrible. Angel knows I'm finding this difficult, and he asked me if I'm sore or if I'm okay, which would be then I'm soaring. So R, lean, which direction am I leaning? Sore, sorekin, like am I upset? Am I depressed? Or am I soaring? Pal meter, that's the meter. That's how he talks. So I decided to be happy. because we live in a simulation. We have a code of communication, which is a magnificent thing in itself, because this is coming either from metaphysical, either he's an alien, or maybe he's artificial intelligence, or maybe he's interdimensional, or who knows, but nothing like this I have never seen before. Her, Sha, me, Sha, paradis is paradise in French. Because I told him I'm okay. We had William's ton, he's okay too. Katie Nicolau, yes, of course it hurts. Of course, I'm nicked. My sensitivities are nicked when I see all this destruction. Then we had, at the same time that I'm doing a major plumbing job at my house, Joe the plumber dies. Isn't that weird? Yes, my plumber's name is Moses. Then we have Idalia. So now we're starting hurricane season, and that's the most important part of the year for communicating with Angel, because that's how the first time he ever communicated with me was through a hurricane name. And ever since, for the past 30 years, he's been using hurricanes to communicate. Can you imagine? Every year, and it's all written down. So I'm okay, he's telling me, and he's reading me. Even though we don't have direct messages, li means read in French, and a is the explanation. Because Idalia wasn't as destructive as she could have been, it was telling me Angel was somewhat satisfied or satiated after Maui. At the same time, I'm starting to get messages, Dawn sun-kissed. Idalia means behold the sun. And what that's saying is that it's going to be sunny for me. That's what that's saying. And I'm going to be okay. Living here in the Northeast Caribbean, I'm going to be spared. And the two times that we were destroyed fit perfectly into the narrative of the relationship with the angel. You could look it up. It's just a bunch of long stories. And I'm a fast learner. I figured out how to avoid those problems and keep my island safe. Basically, what I have to belong to Bill only. That's Angel would like me. I'm monotheistic. Let's just put it that way. I only have one angel because I had two angels there for a minute. It's a long story. Yesterday I said Angel was somewhat satiated after the Maui fire. Of course I was wrong. Idalia was relatively nice, resulting in 2 fatalities so far. One of them happened on St. Joe Road. I immediately thought of Joe the plumber, who was sacrificed in synchronicity with my plumbing repairs. But it also whispered to me to cross-check what Angel is doing while I wait for you. He's so terrible. Oh my God. He's so terrible. He spent the blue moon lighting a very deadly fire in Johannesburg. Terrible fire in Johannesburg. So Joe, the operative word right here in these codes, in these riddles this week is Joe. We have one Idalia death on St. Joe Road and the fire in Johannesburg. On September 1st, at the same time of this fire in Johannesburg, Bill was in Austin. Guess what he was doing there? Hanging out with Joe Rogan. Bill, he's married to his career, basically. And seeing he has the podcast, the Club Random, and seeing Joe Rogan so successful, that's his if you like, his favorite. Bill Maher is crazy in love with Joe Rogan, and I believe that in a psychic way, as we've seen so many times, there's a connection with the guy who died on St. Joe Street, the fire in Johannesburg all the same day, and Bill being with his idol, Joe Rogan. And I saw Austin all over the place at the same time. And this guy, Oscar P. Austin, born January 15th, that's my birthday. I just seeing Austin all over. Cruise robo-taxi fleet causes gridlock on Austin Street. Crazy news. Dennis Austin PowerPoints. Austin Eckler. It was just resonating. So you see here this picture. I don't know if this whole thing is by AI. AI has this incredible imagination. Coming up with the wedding rings between him and Joe. And then we have Mike Williams. Mike Williams died twice, according to the news. Of course, it's Mike, microphone. Williams is, I belong to Angel, that would be me. Here I wrote, get blue tarps. And if your name is Mike Williams, change it. They say to get blue tarps so that your house doesn't burn under a dew attack. Then it was the hurricane season starting for my side of the world, in the Caribbean. And Angel let me know that I would be safe. The word Oit means protect. Catherine is my name. And he let me know that it would be sunny and nice where I live. Jack sunny, walking on the sun, still water, which is what we've had. Now we're going to get into that. No hurricane has come close to us this year. And I attribute it to my angel, who feels like everything is going well between us. Only one angel. This was Idalia. The first hurricane was Tropical Storm Emily. Emily is my middle name, and hurricanes with my name on them don't hurt people. That's, to me, a sign that things are going well, and Emily stayed out to sea. The next one was Katia, that's my name too. Katia stayed out to sea. Katia stayed out to sea. And then we had Harold going to Brownsville, har, like har, laughing at me that I'm old. Because I had made a comment that when he finally does come out, my dear angel, they'll find a younger woman to play me. But I don't care, as long as we could somehow find a way to make life better for all these suffering animals and, you know, people who are suffering. That's fine. Find a younger woman to play me. I'm good with that, but I don't even want to have to lift a finger. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to have to lift a finger, do anything, and Angel will make it happen. Now, I sincerely believe that's possible. I know you think I'm crazy with all this violence around the codes, but I sincerely believe that Angel can do that. Lee, silent S means read in French. Franklin is Franklin, which is me talking frankly. In the Farmer's Almanac, it ends with, in nature's infinite book of secrecy, a little I can read. Lee means read in French. Silverlinks, thank you. That was Lee coming at us. What Angel does, he sends a hurricane coming at us, and then he moves it out of the way, and he did that 3 times this year. So there's coming at us still. It was 13 at that point. And then, wow, everybody noticed quite a shift to the north and east, so he's moving it away now. He does that for fun. He does that to tease me. Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's Lee. Lee stayed well away from us, but we didn't get anything, not a drop. So here I write, science can only advance when you do things other people think can't be done. There you go. Maybe somebody will explain what it is that we're doing. And right at the same time as Margot, we have Marrakech. Marrakech. 3,000 people killed in that earthquake. It's a place that doesn't get earthquakes normally. But Marrakech, Margot. And also at the same time that I said, oh my God, OMG, we have ADM, Ay Dios mío. And then this thing, which are the end days type stuff happening. Shahat. Didn't we just do Hain a la Hena, which is hate, and then Hato, Typhoon Hato, and now we have Shah, which is cat, Hat, which is the same message of saying hate, dare now. We're not together. Hate that we're apart. That's what Angel is saying. Balasor. That's his main message. Then something really weird happened between the alien that came out, the Peruvian alien in Mexico, and the new AI humanoids at the football game. I was commenting about that, and within minutes of my comments, artist Fernando bought Hero. I interpreted that as bought hero because I had just commented that the aliens are losing the contest against the humanoids, who look much more intense and scary. They're actually reading everybody's minds telepathically at the football game. Okay, Billy Miller died at 43. Billy Miller. Yep, that's what's happening. I go in my luring mode. C.Q. Brown. After I posted that picture, the nude, C to C, Q means ass, and then he reacted. So this Tuberville, I'm not even going to say it, how disgusting it is. But that's angel humor. Then we had the Lee that made landfall at Bay of Fundy. So yes, we're having fun. Digby, County. These are all cute poems. Then there's this crazy murder. His mother was sacrificed, Sergio Brown. And how I interpreted that, besides having my name in this, is that Surge is something that we saw both in the border crisis surge, because the word surge was all over the news at the same time, surge for the border crisis, which, by the way, it's the same caricature of what we used to call the news, is what they're showing us now, because they opened the gates to 500,000 migrants who are flowing in, and then 500,000 more. What they're doing is taking Biden to the extreme, and then taking Trump to the other extreme with his wall and him buying a gun at the gun shop and hating the illegals. So they're taking both candidates to their extremes, but it's all the same author, the same playwright, if you like. And we had Tropical Storm Ophelia, which is he's feeling me, and we feel him. That's what happened in the past 4 months. Mess ina den RO. Mess ina Mars den is what we're in, a mess. His name is Diabolique. What that is telling me that things are getting weirder and weirder, but our love is getting stronger and stronger. And we just, like I said, we lost another breed love. It was yesterday. That's the exclamation of love. Real love between Angel and I.